everyone, welcome back. We are finishing up, Hey everyone, welcome back. We are finishing up 7-2 today, Religions of Ancient India. So, last time we talked about Buddhism and all about the backstory of Buddha, who was originally Siddhartha, continued on talking about his teachings, and we left off on a little bit of drama where the two groups of people decided to separate because they had different interpretations of Buddha's teachings. So, we're going to leave off or start off from there. So go ahead and continue on. We're going to be on my notebook, page 130. And in your table of contents, this is kind of just finishing off the section of the lesson regarding the same guiding question about Buddhism. So that's why we're not doing a new heading yet. We will, though, in a moment. But I do want you to turn your textbooks to page 266. Page 266, okay? So what I want you to do right here is you're going to see two headings. You're going to see Theravada Buddhism, Theravada Buddhism, and again, this is on your page 266. And you're going to do a very short bubble map because there's not too much information about this. So you're going to read that section. It's only one paragraph. It's really short. Go ahead and take maybe 3 bullet points of information there. And then afterwards, you're going to move on to reading about Mahayana Buddhism. So I'm going to write down Mahayana. You're going to do this on your own. You know, we've done bubble maps like this dozens of times, so I'm really confident that you guys can do this on your own without my help. Let's just say, we'll say 5 pieces of information regarding Mahayana Buddhism. And this is on page 266 to 267. Up here, this is on page 266, okay? So, go ahead and read those. I will say that one of the main differences between these two is that Theravada followers believe that Buddha is a great teacher but not a deity. However, Mahayana Buddhism believes that Buddha is a deity. So, make sure you put that in there somewhere in your bubble maps because those are the two major differences, all right? So, go ahead and pause this video, fill this out, look at the textbook for the answers, and then come back when you're done. Alright, you guys, hopefully you followed my instructions and that you did fill out those bubble maps. And now we are going to start or continue on the final section of this lesson, which is Jainism. So this is on my page 131. And I'm going to write down 7-2, Religions of Ancient India Continued. Good news, this one is really short. Religions of Ancient India. And the guiding question for this one is, what are the teachings of Jainism? So we've learned about Hinduism, we've learned about Buddhism, and now we're going to learn about Jainism. What are the teachings of Jainism? Okay. So I'm going to zoom this in a little bit more for you guys. Well, that's a little too close. Okay, so we are going to start off with the heading, who is Mahavira? Who is Mahavira? You guys have been doing so good with keeping up with me this week. I know that a lot of these lessons are pretty dense in information, but you guys have been champs. Okay, so who is Mahavira? Mahavira came from A wealthy royal family. Sound familiar? Sounds kind of like Siddhartha, huh? A wealthy royal family. And I am going to, can you guys see this on my screen? I'm using yellow. Is it coming up? Yeah, it's coming up. Okay. After his parents died, comma, he gave up his wealth and property. He gave up his wealth and property. I'm going to underline that last part of what he gave up. He therefore owned nothing because he literally gave everything up. So I'm going to write down owned nothing and begged for his food. Okay, so he went from one extreme to another and begged for food. He became known as the Jina, or the conqueror. Became known as the Jina, or the conqueror. His followers are known as the Jains. Underline the Jina, conqueror, and then underline followers, Jains. Okay, we're on page 267. 267. It does have some similarities to Buddha, huh? Okay. He taught, so I'm going to write down taught, that people needed to stop wanting worldly things. Sound very familiar to Buddhism, huh? Wanting worldly things to end the cycle of rebirth and achieve nirvana. We learned about nirvana in the last lesson. Rebirth and achieve nirvana. Remember, if I'm writing too fast, go ahead and pause. That's what's so great about this distance learning, is you get to go at your own pace. Underline stop wanting worldly things. And then underline achieve nirvana. Okay, and last little bullet point here. He practiced strict poverty, meaning that he lived with little to nothing for the rest of his life. Intentionally. Probably as to set an example about not wanting worldly things. That's my assumption. Okay, strict poverty. So I'm going to turn the page now to 260. I told you guys we're going fast today. It's super short. Okay, 268. We are moving on to what is ahimsa. Ahimsa. So I'm going to scoot this a little bit. What is ahimsa? Okay. So, textbook defines ahimsa as a key value of Jainism practicing of nonviolence toward all living things. Underline ahimsa and underline nonviolence. So being very peaceful. Believe that all life is sacred. And this should sound kind of familiar to you guys because you've learned about things that have happened in American history that actually goes off of ahimsa. So for example, in the 1900s, Mohandas Gandhi wanted to free India. From Great Britain. It was under British rule at the time, I believe. From Great Britain. So he led a nonviolent struggle against British rule. Underline his name and underline non-violent struggle. So what I mean by American history is kind of is kind of going off of this. In some cases, is if you look on page 268, there's a section right here. It says civic participation, and it mentions Dr. Martin Luther King. So he got inspiration from Gandhi, who got inspiration from Jainism, ahimsa to be exact. So there's a little bit of extra bonus history for you. Okay, so we are done with 7-2, you guys. Good job. We're making great progress. What you need to do now is you need to go on the ConnectEd website and take your 7-2 quiz. Yes, you can use your book to find the answers. I am okay with that. Make sure that you do that and that it'll send your results to me so that I will have them at the ready. So make sure that you go on ConnectEd. If you don't remember how to do that or if you've never done it before, you should have done it for 7-1 quiz as well. So if you're behind, you need to do both. If you forget how to do it, then click on the link at the top of the lesson plans. There's a link that gives you a list of tutorials, and you're going to click on the Friday tutorial of the lesson plans. I believe it says something like how to use ConnectEd for Study Sync and Social Studies or something like that. So make sure you click on that and that you watch that tutorial if you don't know what I'm talking about, all right? But great job, you guys. So proud of you. Make sure you get those quizzes done. Do your best, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.